What's going on, guys? This is Daniel Kwak, one of the Kwak Brothers, coming at you right now in South Korea. I'm on top of this beautiful, beautiful building. And let me try and get you guys this view right here. Man, look at this thing. Look at this great view. All right, there's a mountain in the background. Man, I wish you guys were here with me. Masterminding, which, by the way, that's one of the things that me and Sammy have planned in the future. We want to do some really cool weekends where we get away. It's like a nice resort or something like that, and we just, mastermind with 20-30 people and just talk about real estate, talk about business, talk about entrepreneurship. But what is the number one problem, which is why I'm here today, number one problem that I see in real estate investors? And for me, I'm not much of a video guy, as you guys have figured out. Between me and Sam, Sam's more of the video guy, but I do love to speak in front of the stage. I love being a public speaker. I'm good at it. I know I'm good at it, and I absolutely love it. And I've traveled to many, many cities, right? 4 or 5 flights a week when I'm doing my speaking tours. And I've met thousands and thousands of real estate investors. And when I talk to the guys who've been in the game for at least 15, 20 years, they say the number one thing that has caused them money, the number one thing that has caused them problems, headaches, time, you name it. The number one problem that they've had to solve is one thing and one thing only. It's partners. Yep, that's right. Partners, right? And I can say from my experience, some of the events where I've lost the most money, where I've had the most amount of headaches, the times where I've lost most of my time, and literally just overall pain in the butt. Partners, easy partners, and it's not what they know, right? It's not the knowledge level or the education level, or it's that they were an idiot, right? Because I think we're all smart enough as entrepreneurs, and we have enough intuition as human beings to figure out, are they smart enough? Can they get the job done? The number one thing within partners is ethics. It's morals. Matter of fact, I've had plenty of times where I've worked with somebody, we made a lot of money together, we were great partners, and I found out some things about their moral background, some ethics, what they've got going on, and decided to cut the cord before any new damage was created. So I'm going to share with you guys my way of vetting partners, how to figure out if they're the right partner for you, if they have good morals, good ethics. And let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. In my experience, I have made some of the best partnerships that I've had, right? Some of the best businesses that I've executed on where, we made a good amount of money, but at the same time, we had a blast doing it, and it was impactful. We were actually helping people. Is when I worked with partners who not only were experts in what they knew, but their morals and their principles and their character were A+, right? Were aces, A+. So let me share with you guys and walk you through my process of how I vet partners, and it's pretty foolproof today, right? I mean, sure, one may slip in here and there, but for the most part, I have a pretty tight circle, right? I have kind of a mafia mob mentality when it comes to my business and my inner circle of wanting to get things done, so to speak, right? In my real estate investing and business world. So here's what I typically do. If I meet somebody new, what I'll do is I'll play the humble card, right? And here's the humble card, right? It's completely free. Matter of fact, here's my wallet right here, right? Let me take the humble card out of my wallet, and as I put my hand closer to the screen, all of a sudden, there you go. Now that humble card is now yours, right? You can use it on anyone, whoever you want, partners, etc., etc. So what you're gonna do with this humble card is when I meet somebody new, I always ask them this. I always ask them, what is the number one problem that I can solve for you right now? Right? What is the number one? I always think about the other person, right? Which is a fantastic sales / networking method, right? I got a one-on-one coach that personally works with me, does a phenomenal job at it, right? So I ask them what's the number one problem that they want, and if I want to be partners with them, I'll ask them out to dinner. I always say, this is where the humble card truly starts playing in. Hey, I would like to pick your brain on what you just talked about right now. Right? I love to pick your brain, right? And even if they want to be partners with you, and here's what I always say, right? Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank says this, right? Everybody says in this world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And one of the things that changed my life, especially while I was in college and everybody was, telling me this BS of it's not what you know, it's who you know. Don't get me wrong. Do I believe that statement? Yes. But let me tell you a more truer statement. And that's what Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank echoed. And he says, be the guy, right, in which what you know makes you the person to want to get to know. Let me say that again because that's so good, right? Make sure your knowledge level, to sum it up, right? Your knowledge level and what you know, make sure that is at the caliber and at the level to which it puts you in a position in which you are the person that people want to get to know, right? Does that make sense, right? That your caliber of knowledge and what you know makes you the guy that everybody wants to get to know. So number one thing you gotta do is you gotta increase your knowledge base, right? You can't figure out if your partner's BS if you don't even know what BS is. Simple as that, right? So I always ask him to dinner. I say, hey, let me pick your brain on that. You know, let me ask him coffee, or let me pick your brain on what do you think? And I'm never interested in what that person has to say in terms of their ability, right? I know they're smart. I can figure that out rather quickly, right? And maybe you can't, so maybe you need to, you know, pay a little bit more attention, or maybe you know more than me, or you know, anyway, and that's okay, right? I still have a lot of learning to do, right? I'm on this journey myself. But what I always pay attention to is I always pay attention to their character. What did they do? I always ask them questions like this. So tell me about the most difficult situation you've been in. Like, how did that go? How did they get solved? And I kid you not, I've literally had partners who go, yeah, you know, like I kind of screwed them over there, but I mean, hey, you know, that's business, right? No, for me, that's not business. Business is doing the right thing and adding value to people and making an impact on the world. That's the true essence of business, right? True essence of business. So I always ask him, what are some adversities you've gone in the past? And I always pay attention. I always ask for stories. Tell me a story about that, right? Stories are when people talk about stories, you start seeing the character, right? Which is why when we look at movies or we watch TV shows, you know, we always know what type of character that person has. There's the bad guy, there's the antagonist, the protagonist, there's the, you know, the funny comedic sidekick, etc., right? So you ask them to tell you stories, right? So number one, play the humble card, right? Ask them to dinner, etc., you know, pick their brain. Ask them to tell you a story based on some of the adversity they've gone through in the past, and how they've gone that in the past will determine whether they're a good fit for you or not. And I always ask them fourth, always vague questions. I always ask them, so what's your purpose in life? What do you want to create? Why are you a real estate investor? What do you exactly want to emulate, right? I know landlords who, they won't spend a dime on their tenants, right? On their tenants unless it provides them more money. But I also know landlords and I also know entrepreneurs who, you know what, they just genuinely want to serve people, right? I was watching an interview with Jeff Bezos, and he says if there's one thing that has made Amazon so successful is that we had OCD, right? We had an OCD, and it's a compulsive desire to please our customers, right? Every little detail was geared towards making our customers more happy. That is the number one thing that's created Amazon, right? So if it worked for Jeff Bezos, why wouldn't it work for your real estate business, right? So having OCD, like for me, tenants, man, I love my tenants. They are my customers, right? Tenants are my customers. And of course, my second customers are my business partners, right? I serve them, they serve me. It's this beautiful synergetic relationship. But of course, you want to establish a good foundation. You want to see who they really are. And of course, some of it, it's going to take time, right? It's going to take time to kind of show them their true colors. And for me, and I guess you could say this is the fifth thing, I always ask around. I always ask, hey man, you worked with this guy before, what's he actually like? What's he genuinely like? And I kid you not, doing those 5 things, I ask, you know, me traveling around the country talking to millionaires, oftentimes billionaires, they say, man, that would have saved me so much more headache if I would have just done those things to really vet my partners, right? So number one, to sum it all up, number one problem that people have had in real estate and even in business in general, in my experience, asking thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, it's partners. Right? How do we do that? We play the humble card, ask them to dinner, pick their brain, right? Ask them to tell us stories on their encounters, and of course, ask around, right? Ask them also vague questions, right? And figure out what their characters are, what their intuition is, and what their morality and ethics are, right? So for me, you know, obviously you guys know I'm a follower of Christ. That's huge for me. I want to, you know, for me, it's not what I do, it's how I go about it. It's who I'm being as I'm going about it, right? So it's always for me who, how, and then it's the what, all right? So have a butt-kicking week, everyone. Go out there, make some money. Don't be busy, be productive, and I'll see you guys later.
Well, hello there. You made it to the end of this video. Congratulations. And that probably means that you like our video and you love what we did. So be sure, if you want to get more information, more YouTube videos from us about real estate investing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to make sure that you get notifications on our future videos about real estate investing.